is our Unconstitutional Awakening program.
Liftoff will start in T-minus 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have ignition.
Brought to you by KD Consulting Redesigned.
Ahoy there, everyone, and it's time to set sail on another episode of Unconstitutional Awakening, the podcast. It's me, your host, Jim Bob Oval Shorts, and tonight it's just me, Neptune, and Bandit hanging out, catching up on some interesting, like current events and such like that. Because there's a lot of things going on in the world that we think are pretty important that not too many folks are talking about, and I think it's a good subject to bring up. So we're going to get into it here hot and heavy here in a minute, but you guys know I want to just go ahead and get through the cool stuff. So thank you everybody that's out there listening to your favorite one and only Unconstitutional Awakening, the podcast. Then, we appreciate you guys all out there supporting us on Rumble and BitChute and Odyssey and all the listening platforms all over the world. You guys are super awesome. I've been looking at the numbers, and I mean, we're well over 10,000 downloads between all the platforms and still just a rolling every day. So thank all of you, every last one of you. That's pretty amazing if you ask me. And so, you guys can always go over and hang out on the website and stuff. If you want to reach out and chat with us or ask questions about episodes and stuff like that, y'all can hop on over to unconstitutionalawakening.com, where there's all this great stuff. You can find each episode over here in podcasts and more. You can leave messages on the UA social. One of us is bound to say something back to you. You can just flip through the list and find all kinds of cool stuff down there. And while you're also here, you can check out our amazing sponsors that are Friends of Liberty here, like my buddy over there, Kirk Elliott, doing the investment thing in gold and silver. And people are crazy and talking more and more each day about digital currency, and I for one am not seeing that as actually being a future thing, because there's too many people like me that would rather bury his gold in other places. So if you're into gold and silver, Kirk's your guy, man. Y'all go check him out. You can also hit up Peachy Key Creations if you're into cool things like getting all natural soaps and all natural candles and stuff like that, and energy healing. Peachy Key Creations is the thing for you, man. You guys can find her over there on Facebook. She'll hook you up real good, man. She'll take care of you. Y'all go give her a check out. And our little buddy Ammo Can over there doing his thing with his survival cans, first aid stuff, plate carriers, and even ghillie suits, man. Ammo Can's really got it going on. You guys can check him out over there on Instagram. And then Brett Pike over there with Homeschools Connected and ClassicalLearner.com, giving everybody curriculums and books to read and all kinds of good stuff, man. Y'all sign up and learn some stuff for your kids, man. That's the point. We got to teach the kids better so that the future kids are doing better than the kids that a lot of us are, that we're waking up behind the lines with this stuff, man. So that's Homeschools Connected. Y'all give that a check out. And we appreciate you checking out our Friends of Liberty, man. We're trying to support people that are out there doing things. I guess you could call it the black market or the anarchist market or whatever market you want to call it. We're just not doing it the conventional way, and that's what I like to support, is the unconventional pirate way of doing things. And I know my partners here feel like it as well. I appreciate you guys being on here with me and stuff this evening and hanging out. So how are you two doing this evening?
Doing great, man.
Excellent.
Excellent.
Fantastic. So before we got started, we were talking about well, we were listening to this dude that's the Anarchist Leak. He's on like TikTok and Instagram, and I think he's on Twitter too.
Awesome.
He's friggin' hilarious, and he's worth a a shout out, and y'all checking him out too. But like, he brought up an interesting point in the conversation that he was having about how Prince Andrew or whatever got reinstated, and that's an awfully
princely duties, whatever those are.
Yeah, he got his like princely duties reinstated, and like
duties as a kid fucker, more like it.
Isn't there just a whole thing that?
I mean, that was the gist of like the lawsuits against him that I think the Queen actually paid off. But like, I mean, and the funny thing is that it's not just like that's not just confined to the UK.
Right.
That is a worldwide thing for a lot of people in power, especially in our own country here in the US. I mean, that's been exposed, and yet people look the other way, like, oh, you're a politician or a movie star or somebody of extreme wealth. We'll just look the other way,
Money talks.
Yeah, no joke, man. That's it right there, man. That money talks. You can buy the best lawyers, you can buy the best PR team, and it's just even if it's not about the money, your status as a celebrity will get you out of it.
Yep.
It's ridiculous. It really is.
And, obviously Epstein had been investigated for years prior to them actually finally coming down on him and him getting Hillary cited. Nice. Starting there, I mean, if you want to, address Prince Andrew as being sort of a functional catalyst to that, I don't think there was a lot of media attention around Epstein before Prince Andrew's then it's his ex-wife now. I don't know if he was still married to him at the time when she had revealed that Epstein had arranged to pay off some debts, and the larger implication that he was implicated in having sex with a 17-year-old girl in what year was it, 2000? And her official deposition in all of this, Virginia Guffrey, I think her name is, her official deposition stated that she would not refuse because she was afraid that she would be killed. So put that in the context of thinking about all of the big money people, including Weinstein, who got away with it for a very long time, of all the people that are absolutely.
It finally came back on Weinstein.
Oh yeah, for all the time that he got away with doing the shit before it finally came back on him. How long do you think that goes on for before someone actually speaks up?
Well, apparently it's unsolvable.
Yeah, right. My ass. But it got me thinking too, like, talking about Epstein and talking about Andrew in particular, since he was one of his very close associates, was what the hell's going on with that client list, with all the people that visited Pedo Island?
You're never going to see it.
Why haven't we seen that?
You're never going to see it because it has people in power's names are on that.
Yep.
That's why. I mean,
yeah, we're still.
We know who's on there. We do. We don't need a list. We don't need a list.
It's
pretty easy to put people on that list.
Right. I liken it to, if you got enough money, you're expected to play the game, and if you don't play, you're out. And by out, I probably am referring to them probably just cutting you off at the neck.
Well,
Well,
99%,
I mean,
99% of people in Hollywood, that's how you get to a position of have to sell your soul to somebody.
okay, so we can let's roll back the time clock a little bit to when that one weird dude that suddenly decided to kill himself inside of his holding cell when the cameras died and the guards were asleep, and what else is the official story? Something like that. And he had a little black book that was like actually published, that was slam full of very important phone numbers, and there was also flight logs that were filled with very important names, and those themselves, those two items themselves, are a list in its own thing. I don't care what kind of business he's in. The fact that he was definitely a part of something bigger means that every name on both of those said lists should be completely under some sort of investigation.
Yep. I
There will
agree.
be no investigation.
No,
Just like they sealed the client list or whatever for Maxwell.
Yeah, that's right. She
Like-
had requested that the contents of the book or the files not be
It'll never
subject to
be
discovery.
Never. You'll never see it. It's one of those things that's going to be buried so far that it'll never see the light of day.
Like why? Like, why is this?
Like I said,
Why
because
isn't
there are too many people?
Why isn't this all over the mainstream news instead of like Johnny Depp and his girlfriend shitting on the bed together and stuff, or whatever else is going on?
Yep. I'm actually looking something up. Keep going, guys.
It's so, I mean, and like you were saying there, Bandit, like there's the people that are just on some of these lists that do appear that aren't already dead, weirdly enough, like Bob Saget, and yeah, for example. Sorry, but he was. And then like
Yeah.
even
Okay,
Johnny
so-
Depp.
Even so, say they do, like they won't release the entire list. They will find some people on the list and they will make examples of them. That's the way it goes when you sell your soul for a position of power like that. That's the way it'll go. They'll pick a few and be like, okay, you got to take the downfall for the rest of us. And we're going to make your Epstein visits known to the public. I mean, that's how it goes. Why do you think Tom Hanks went to Greece?
Oh yeah.
The Greece thing, like there's a whole bunch of islands out there, and I think that's one of those places.
They're non-extradition.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Like, it doesn't matter what you did there. If you're there, like you're safe. Which,
how did I never know this website existed?
Why isn't there other what websites that? Why, like, there's other islands. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's clearly other islands. This isn't the only island that this is.
Yeah. They have to be somewhere that they're not under the potential scrutiny. And I've never seen this website before. This is actually
1,971 names.
Yeah, and this is supposed to be, from what I see, a record of the book, or at least what they found in the leak. So obviously this is incomplete, right?
Alec Baldwin.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of these names I don't recognize right off the bat. Some of them I do.
But see, they could deny this shit. They can deny this shit because it's not the official documents.
Sure.
Right.
Sure.
Yeah, they don't want the official one to ever get out.
Have you noticed people like, this is a good example though. I will give people this. There's like that story with Tom Hanks. There's been a lot of people call Tom Hanks out on his bullshit. Multiple people actually, including the young lady that was involved in the situation, and like they don't. Tom Hanks won't go after anybody because apparently
That's why he
he
shot
doesn't have the
bullets.
ground. He doesn't actually have the grounds to sue for defamation or anything. You know what I'm saying? Like,
That's why guys like him and a few other, when they're on Twitter, that's why they have their comments shut off.
no, yeah, absolutely.
Same with Instagram and, anywhere else. I mean, yeah.
Just all kinds of just.
But we don't need this
names.
list.
Yeah.
It's pretty
It's
easy
fucking
to put a name.
But yeah, no, Bandit, I agree 100% too. Like, they've got to be somewhere they're not under the potential of scrutiny. Like, because obviously, if it happens in plain sight,
Yeah.
they can be implicated.
And they live in a fantasy land. Politicians and Hollywood live in a
For real.
fantasy land where they have no connection to normal peasants like us. They don't care. They don't want to know. They're amongst their, pedophile friends.
Absolutely.
They
That's
don't
one
care.
thing else that really bothers me about this, especially looking at it from the perspective that you've got all these rich people involved. It's at every level of government, every level of industry. And you go up to the top, and obviously they look for politicians to protect them. But then, it goes into, what we've all talked about before, a general distrust of media. Going out of their way to try to discredit any of this, in my view, makes them complicit.
Yes. Yes.
They are absolutely 100%
All they are
complicit.
is the paid mouthpieces of your political hacks in DC. And hold on, I gotta shut this off. I don't know. Can you guys hear me? Okay.
Yeah, speak up a little bit.
Yeah. It's like all the media is, and that goes for all media.
Yep.
All media, including the beloved Alex Jones.
Mm-hmm.
They're nothing but paid mouthpieces for the political hacks in DC and Hollywood. They get paid to say a certain thing, and they're going to say it. And it goes vice versa too. It goes to celebrities are paid to say one thing, and they will say that one thing at all costs, even to their own morals. In the same way with politicians, politicians are paid to say one thing, go one way, even at the cost of their own moral their own moral standing. They'll say it because the money's there.
Yeah.
You guys seen this?
I have not.
Oh yeah.
Check this
I
out.
haven't seen this one.
I know.
So all those doubting my NFT, you're looking at the guy. That's the reason that college athletes and high school athletes are getting paid today. Mr. Influencer to influencers. Secondly, Jimmy Kimmel, viral this. I fight to eradicate childhood malnutrition from the planet. And until they release the flight logs, you, the mainstream media, Hollywood, are all pedophiles to me. Eat dick.
Yeah.
Am I canceled yet.com?
So I follow that dude on TikTok, and like he's
There was another one too that they said the same thing.
yeah. There's a few fighters coming out of UFC like this, all saying the same thing, and they're going and like it's
good to see, but I don't know if I quite trust them yet. They could be paid opposition. Don't know.
Sure.
They could be paid opposition, but I tell you what, if they do mean well, and I hope it means well, in theory at least, is
Because
that they have a platform.
They have a good platform, and
They have a platform.
That's the right type of crowd that you want.
Yep.
Rooting for your side.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that ultimately, in the end of it all, if we are to improve general discourse among the masses, people like that have a significant impact on that, I think.
Yeah. No, I mean
that was fucking awesome. I thought that was really cool. I never saw that clip before.
But that's the kind of thing that it is. I wish, like from my perspective, that's something I think all of us, any of us that have kids or had kids or might be planning on having kids, I guess, can come together and think about is that it's, like we definitely have to protect children. Like that's 100% all the way around. Do a better job of it anyway. And then yeah, sick motherfuckers that are doing things like this and need to be, I mean, I'm not calling for the eradication of anything, but damn it, man, what good does it do to lock them away in a box? I mean, because they just get right back out and offend again.
Yep. Violent removal is the only option.
It's a constant, it's a constant in and out thing. Like I'm sure most people have searched their little local sex offender thing, and there's some places, man, that you just don't go, literally, because that's all it is.
And it makes you think about the vileness of their actions if when they go to prison, even your hardcore murderers, thieves, drug dealers, everything like that, will make it a data to take care of, not take care in the sense of I'm going to take care of you, take care of them as in in the most violent way possible, known pedophiles in lockup. Something's to be said for that. Even these hardened criminals,
yep,
even they have kids, Yeah. So,
yep,
that's how they look at it.
It's the only way to look at it. Jimmy, I just shared something with you. I would like you to pull this up, if you will. I'm sure you guys have probably already seen this. I saw it once and then it disappeared. And
where is it?
Onion. I'm putting it in the chat now.
Okay.
Pull this up. Take a look at this.
All right.
I saw that once before, like a year and a half ago, and this was before the last big zucchini, as it were. But this is a partial flight log.
I remember this.
I think use pseudonyms, though.
Yeah.
Sure.
You could use cryptology to probably work this out, though. If someone took a serious enough interest, a real crypto analyst could probably decipher this.
Yeah.
I think. That's just my opinion.
Absolutely.
Obviously, it's not nothing in and of itself, but this was something else I remember I saw once before, and then I felt like it disappeared. And Onion Router has got a pretty good search engine, so I just found that.
Sure. Yeah. No, I mean, it's just these are all somebody. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
These are all someone, and
I mean, even look at it like this. I mean, Bill Gates straight up admitted to his 27 flights to Epstein's Island. He straight up admitted it. Nothing's gonna happen to him. He outright
did know
out on air and was questioned about it and said, "Oh, he's a nice guy. Spent some time with him." Admitted it. Nothing's gonna happen to him.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So,
he's.
These guys are in. They feel they've reached the untouchable zone.
It's like they get that much money, they get that much power, and they forget that they're mortal.
Yeah, they'll get their just desserts in the end. They really will. And one of them that's Gates, and one of them is the CEO or VP or whatever of Microsoft or something.
Yeah, that was.
There it is. We got James from the left. James Stanley, J.P. Morgan executive, Lawrence Summers, Treasury Secretary. Gates and Epstein, and then co-founder of Microsoft and Boris Nikolak, that guy right there. And he was the Bill and Melinda Gates service advisor. But look where all of them are, hanging out with that dude with the big funny smile on his face.
Does anyone else think it's interesting too, or at least kind of creepy? Like, of all of the shit that we know for sure definitely went down at Epstein's Island, you can also find old photos of him having really weird costume parties and then really weird fucking paintings. He's wearing a U.S. Navy uniform with a Budweiser on it.
Yeah,
in one photo, I was like, "What the fuck kind of parties are you guys having down there?" It's weird shit, man.
Oh yeah, dude.
I mean, think about it. Think about what I mean, like the possible like ceremonies that have gone on at Epstein's Island, the costume parties, the. Don't try to imagine. Okay?
Yeah, it's just weird shit. It's like another Bohemian Grove.
You mean?
We talked about Bohemian Grove the other day, and
pictures like this.
Pictures of George Bush holding paper planes next to two towers.
Let's not even talk about the Podesta emails and the Podesta paintings. Okay, the Podesta artwork. That had connections to Epstein.
Yeah.
And we discussed Bohemian Grove the other day, and I think we came to the conclusion that Bohemian Grove is just like a
circle jerk club.
A circle jerk club. Nothing really nefarious went on there. Because let's be honest, if you're gonna do nefarious shit, like you would do it on an island like Epstein's Island, where nobody's just going to jump security fence and come see you.
Yep.
You know
what I mean?
Makes sense. I can see that.
Like there's private islands everywhere.
All over. And let's not forget how close Little St. John Island was to Disney cruises.
And also that dude that owns Virgin Records, he owned the island next door. And he's up to shit like that too. Branson.
Yeah, he was on the list, I think.
Didn't he own Big St. John Island?
Yeah.
Because Epstein owned Little St. John Island and Branson owned Big St. John Island. Okay?
I mean, you can't tell me
that ain't a coincidence.
You're not going to tell me that, oh, I didn't know what my neighbors were doing. No.
Yeah, right. My ass.
Bullshit, man. It's one big club and we're not in it. And that's actually, honestly, that's not a fucking club people want to be in, you know?
No, I don't want to be in that club.
People don't want to be in it.
So there's just right off the bat, when you search for famous people that own islands, you get Julia Roberts.
The rich and powerful.
Shakira.
I don't think Shakira owns an island anymore after her
thing now. Leonardo DiCaprio. Steven Spielberg.
Now
Tyler Perry.
I don't doubt that about Spielberg. The Red Shoe Club.
Eddie Murphy. Now, here's some more interesting names, but they're also names that I feel are people that got up enough money, got their own island intentionally, like Mel Gibson and Nicolas Cage and Faith Hill.
I don't think Nicolas Cage, after he had all that shit repossessed, I don't think he owns that island anymore. But Steven Spielberg, that is a particular...
This is a 2020 article.
Yeah, I don't think Nicolas Cage owns that island anymore. Neither does Shakira. But,
I know Shakira doesn't.
Steven Spielberg is a very dark story.
Beyonce and Jay-Z own an island.
Oh, I don't doubt that one bit.
George Clooney owns an island.
Wasn't Jay-Z and Beyonce involved with the Tegans?
Tim McGraw and Faith Hill.
They just do fucking line dancing on their fucking islands.
David Copperfield. Marlon Brando used to have an island, apparently. Johnny Depp has an island.
Island of Dr. Moreau.
Ricky Martin. Gene Hackman. Bear Grylls.
Don't you dare talk about Gene Hackman like that. Don't even mention Gene Hackman in that list.
I could see him being one of those guys that would be a runaway, though. These are just people that have private islands. Because, like Bear Grylls, I don't think he's up to anything fishy. He just probably likes to live on a deserted private island.
Yeah, and use pine cones for fucking teepee. So, yeah, he probably just does his own thing on that island. But Steven Spielberg, did you read that story about him with the Red Shoe Club?
It seems to be something with Arizona.
Do you remember the girl that when he was directing?
There's this guy.
That's Nicholas.
It's Nicolas Cage's uncle, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, it's his dad.
Is that his dad?
Nicolas Cage. His real name is Nicholas Coppola.
Yep.
I knew they were related.
Yeah, and he had that small part in Fast Times at Ridgemont High as the short order cook. He appeared in the credits as Nicholas Coppola before assuming the name of Nicolas Cage.
Yep.
Interesting. That I didn't know.
Okay, so
I guess
I'm going to get back into my story of Steven Spielberg. I want to talk about this.
Okay.
The Red Shoe Club. Are you familiar with that? The Red Shoe Club?
I am.
Yeah. Steven Spielberg is a member of the Red Shoe Club, supposedly because of what happened. It wasn't the Poltergeist movie, was it? The little girl from the Poltergeist movie?
Do
you know? Hold on. I think I know.
I think it is. Yes.
I know. I'm not really familiar with this, but I came across the TikTok.
Hold on.
There's some stuff to this.
There is there's lots of.
Like there really is. Like it. Of course, the first things you see are things trying to discredit it. Like when you Google search it.
Yes, it is. It is the original Poltergeist. It was
right off.
It had a little girl with.
It's bizarre. People don't do that.
No.
But even Mel Gibson knows, bro. He tried to out everybody, and they gave him a hard time.
Yeah, that's kind of why he's been ostracized by Hollywood.
Doesn't matter. You're not going to do anything to Mel Gibson.
Right.
Yeah.
He's making a movie about what banking family am I thinking of?
I saw something about
He's
that.
Making a movie about the Rothschilds.
Really?
Yes, I saw something about this recently. Let me pull up the article.
Mel's trying to play with fire, eh?
Did I just bring something up that Jimmy doesn't know about?
I don't pay attention to movies.
I only saw this in passing.
I used to.
Yeah, but he's making a Rothschilds movie.
Ooh.
Yeah, you have to look it up. I mean, I think it's far enough out in actually the planning phase that it's available to look up.
This is interesting now. Yeah, it's popping up.
Yeah, it's far enough along in the development phase.
About a year ago, someone that's not even Mel Gibson's actual account on Twitter tried to say it's fake. But it actually is rolling through here.
Rolling through.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Huh. How about that?
I think he's funding it himself.
Interesting. Well, go Mel.
I'd be curious to see what comes of that.
Yeah. And speaking of Mel Gibson, I mean, for how powerful in Hollywood he is and how much money he's got, I mean, it's like everything I've seen of him seems like he's just a pretty decent guy, No joke. There was a TikTok out of him. This dude had stopped, and because this guy was airing up his of a Dodge Ram, a new Dodge Ram was airing up his tire, and it was fucking Mel Gibson airing up his fucking truck tire, and this dude stopped and was videoing him, videoing him right next to Mel Gibson, this is Mel Gibson. This is Mel Gibson. And he's like, he looks down and the dude's like airing up his tire, and he's like, "Who are you again?" He's like, "Yeah, dude, I'm Mel Gibson." Like, just a regular, pretty stand-up dude. You know?
That's
It's-
wild, though.
Yeah.
It's funny too. You know, at some point or another, most of the celebrities in Hollywood who have said that they will speak up about pedophilia have pretty much been ostracized at one point or another.
Shit canned immediately, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Elijah Wood, I remember several years ago, he said Hollywood has a really big fucking problem with pedophiles.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Corey Feldman did too.
Yeah,
Mel
about to say
Gibson
the
did, of
Corys.
course.
Corey Feldman, God.
And
That's-
Jennifer Lawrence blew the whistle on Weinstein years ago.
Yeah, that's actually true. And then you've also got, look, I mean, even Terry Crews come out and said some stuff, and then y'all seen the emotional stuff with Brendan Fraser. You know that's what happened to him, is he was speaking up about being harassed and shit like that, and they just kind of fucking destroyed him and sent him off because he didn't want to take a part in it.
Yeah, but he had a really tough time anyway. His ex-wife steamrolled his ass.
Sure.
Yeah, no. It's just, if you speak out against it, they're gonna try to cut you off at the knees.
Yeah, you're gonna pay the price for it. But
What about that one chick? Do y'all think? Do y'all remember seeing anything about that chick that was apparently making a documentary that's still coming out, that she died? She apparently died. The conspiracy is she didn't die in that car crash. Yeah, that she faked her death or whatever. That's a conspiracy around about it.
I don't know, man. That was a.
Did you see the video where somebody sat up on the gurney?
It looked. I don't know, man.
Sure, it looked very staged, but it's interesting to think.
It looked very weird to me. But at the same time, when you're making movies like that, trying to out Epstein or Epstein's Island or pedophilia in Hollywood, you take a real bit of taking a dirt nap, you know?
Yep.
Because, I mean, these people will do anything and use all means necessary to silence opposition.
And it's just fucking power to them.
They do not care if it's just you or you and your entire family.
Yeah, these super elites, they just treat the masses like fucking cattle.
Uh-huh.
That's, like you said, they look at us as peasants and we are beneath them.
I don't care.
Which it,
you know, I am okay with being a peasant.
I absolutely am too.
A heavily armed peasant, but a peasant nonetheless.
I'd rather be an armed peasant than one that gave his guns and thinks the cops are coming to save him.
I
Yeah,
am
for real.
more free as a peasant than I am as a multimillionaire celebrity in Hollywood, where every single hour of your day is scheduled.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
You take on these parts where you have to gain and lose weight, cut your hair, dye your hair, speak in an accent, dress a certain way, drive a certain car. You can't go here. You have to stay here for 2 years while we're filming. You can't do anything dangerous. You can't eat this. You can't smoke cigarettes. You can't drink alcohol. You have to have lunch from noon to 1 with this person and then dinner, across the country with this person. What the fuck, man?
I mean, you're not wrong, though.
The money is not worth that, man.
No. And then on top of that, apparently they want you to be a part of some satanic kid trafficking cult.
No, sorry.
Like it doesn't it never sounds any better. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I want to close the loop on one thing, guys, and this is
My
kind of,
chickens, my garden,
yeah,
my lowly little house. I'm okay with that, man.
yes.
Not-
What you got?
Same with politicians
give me
in
1
Hollywood,
second and I'll get it up.
Okay.
I'll send you the link here in a minute.
or politicians in DC. My bad.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
one and the same though. Like it seems that there's just as many of them involved, and I mean, once you start seeing that a lot of these politicians and stuff, a lot of those names that you see that you don't recognize, there are even people that are a part of this too. Like they're like CEOs of big businesses and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like there's people that are high ups and board members and this, that, and the other, and things like Amazon and Walmart and McDonald's and Disney that are a part of this as well, though. You know what I mean? Like this is one of those things. It's weird though. You having trouble, Bandit? Test, test. Everybody all right? You still looking for that link there, Neptune?
I got it. It's coming in now. Give me one
Sweet.
second.
But that's the thing, that all of them are connected in different ways that way. Like seeing that there's different groups connected that way.
Photos up in the chat.
All right.
I just want to go ahead and address this since we talked about it at the beginning.
Yeah.
And just kind of to close the thought on King Charles. And so supposedly this is the only known photo of Prince Andrew and Epstein together. So, kind of looking at this in the larger scope of power, I guess, is I've thought for a while that they really just aren't even trying anymore, like, to hide it. They're really trying less than they used to, if they are at all.
Sure.
Or they're just leaning on people to just be dim-witted enough to lean on fact checkers to say something is debunked. My thought here with respect to Charles and reinstating Prince Andrew and whatever.
Oh, don't use that with respect. There's no respect when talking to
them. In the context of him being reinstated in whatever fucking position he's supposed to be in. It's what fucking value does that really, what does that show? What does that show the people of England who have markedly turned toward demanding a republic, like that video you showed us before we got on this podcast was going, like, clamping down on freedom of speech.
They place value on family above all else.
Yeah.
The royal family, they place every family above everything.
Well, I mean, look at everybody's all mourn the queen, and like look at we keep bringing this up because I will keep bringing this up. Look at the atrocities that have happened under her, 70-year reign or whatever.
God, that's why she's gotten memed into oblivion.
She did nothing to stop slavery.
She did nothing to stop anything, except for get herself richer.
She was the reigning monarch during the Troubles in Ireland during Bloody Sunday. All of those British paratroopers that murdered those 13 Irish civilians were given an award. Why? I mean, why would you mourn that woman?
Yeah, not a chance in hell.
She's in hell. She's in hell.
Absolutely.
And I hope she is. That country is fucked.
Do lizard people go to hell?
Rightfully so. The whole world is at this point, man. The whole world is. I'm just hoping that Putin keeps his promise because he's speaking cryptic right now about using nuclear weapons.
Have you heard these rumors about September 24th? It's going around on like Facebook and Twitter and TikTok. I keep seeing articles about it, and like I can't find any clear information myself.
What's going down?
Apparently some kind of day that everyone's gonna remember, like something the leader of Germany said in a speech or some shit
It's like,
talking
go
about
over
September 24th of this year.
Fuck, why would Germany, why would the Chancellor of Germany be making a speech like that, man?
I mean, I feel like
reaction. Germany, no. What?
Yeah, Germany,
Nothing.
no.
Never mind.
No, dude. You know, I can honestly, like, if there was one country with nuclear weapons and one world leader at the helm, that would be like, all right, man, we've had a good run as a human species, but I think we're done. It would be Putin.
Yep.
It would 100% be Putin. I'd be just like, all right, I think we've had a good run as a species, but I think we're past the point of recovering right now. But
Just turn it all to glass.
He's been making.
and like, this is definitely
it's
like
funny
a conservative. There's definitely a
Chance been
conservative
talking
leaning
about,
site.
like,
Don't get me
yeah.
wrong.
The whole
It reads very boomer, but
the whole
I mean-
Ukraine
Here's the video though that
advance-
apparently goes along with it.
in Ukraine right now, taking back the Russians are retreating.
The Russians are retreating.
They're not retreating. If you've paid attention in any type of like world history in war zones like that, a big retreat like that is usually drawing you into a trap. We'll see, because it's coming. Whatever it is, it's coming, because Putin was talking about concrete melting and shit.
And they not only have they given warnings about the bug out bags, not only in New York, but now in Denver as well, but they have also given out bug out bags in both places as like a government incentive thing, I guess. I don't really know, but it's interesting to see that they're giving out bug out bags.
That's not going to help you.
It's still strange for sure, though, that they
Like, I've
went
never
so
seen
far
shit like that in
to-
the 40 some odd years I've been alive. I've never seen
Yeah.
shit like that.
Yeah,
The
New
last
York
thing you want to
City-
do is take a
Here's the Denver
government
article
handout
about it.
bug out bag.
And of course, you guys know all these articles we talk about here on the show. If you happen to be listening instead of watching, please make sure you jump over to Rumble, Odyssey, or BitChute to make sure you can, not only check these articles out for yourself, but you can look at this stuff when we're talking on screen, like all the spicy memes I share and everything else as well. But this right here is talking about, Denver Ready gives out free bug out bags as part of National Preparedness Month. And so an event being held is going to give out bug out bags to anyone that attends. And they're doing a similar one in New York City as well. And this comes after, all of these ominous warning videos that you need to, what you need to do in case of a nuclear bombing. It's,
I don't know, man.
I think it's, to me, it's fear mongering. It's no more than when on Y2K, when Alex Jones said that Russia launched all their nukes and was wiping out New York City.
Yeah. But I did have one thought concerning the conflict. I mean, if things are going to get worse, which, as we've all talked about before, I'm sure they will. I have one more article to share for the night. And Bandit, I didn't get a chance to share this one with you. I actually intended to when I first came across it. So, the Imperial Japanese Navy, in the first time in recent memory, and that link is in the chat, Jimmy, for the first time in recent memory, for really the first time that I'm aware of any time since the end of the Cold War, Japanese Navy is going to build 2 TMD warships. And this is on Naval Institute's website. So I would say that this is probably about 98% authentic. If this is real, it certainly gives some precedence to the growing number of tensions and conflicts, especially with respect to the fucking flame war going on right now between China and the U.S. over the Pelosi visit to Taiwan.
What is this Biden or not? I'm not going to call him Biden.
Partnering with Russia, they have officially declared their partnership.
And didn't Pudding Pants send aid to Taiwan?
Yep.
He did that last package. He sent
weapons package and
$300 billion, I think it was.
Another $1 billion.
Oh, no. Wait, I might be getting them backwards. We sent $300 billion somewhere. That was probably Ukraine. Fuck if I know. It's getting so hard to keep up with those, man. It's getting difficult to know which ones are getting built into budget bills.
They have literally spent our entire life funneling money into war of some kind, whether it be in,
are you surprised though?
Somalia or Yemen or the Middle East and different places, Asia. It's a constant.
Are you surprised though?
No.
I've said it before. I'll say it again. If we as a species are good at one thing, it's that we are really, really, really fucking good at finding out how to kill each other.
Yeah.
I think that sums up the American people.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
Yeah,
You're not wrong.
We're really inventive with how we're going to kill each other. And we've been doing it since the beginning of time. So it's not that like this whole Ukraine conflict is nothing new.
Yeah.
Let's stop. It's gonna go one way or another. Well, we don't need to fund it. Somebody else will.
Sure.
Or they'll get steamrolled by Russia. And it'll, the cycle of, start over in another 30 or 40 years.
Oh, yeah.
But
I absolutely
don't need to fund it.
Cynical.
We don't need to fund it. Somebody else will.
Yeah.
And we got more important problems here in the United States within our own borders. We
really do. Like, there's so many things that we could be spending that war money on to actually benefit society, because as a modern society, it's disgusting.
Say electric vehicles.
No, not at all. I'm not even thinking electric vehicles. I'm not thinking electric vehicles. I'm not thinking bread lines. I'm not thinking, just dumbass shit like that. I'm thinking of like, okay, if we're supposed to be one of the most advanced progressive societies on the face of the planet in the history of humankind, why is there so much death and destruction from within that usually is at the hands of the state to begin with? Like, that's like, look at all the people that actually are starving. Look at all the people that actually are dying at the hands of cops. Look at all the people that are dying because of things like ridiculous ass regulations. Look at how people
drug overdose,
they are
homeless,
forced,
starving.
They're forced to live in a box that is government regulated and approved, because you can't just go buy a $30 tent and pitch it up in the woods and be like, hey man, this is where I want to live.
I have one other thought, thinking about ways in the current state of society that war funds could be used more meaningfully, right? This is kind of circling over, like, in the last, since we're coming up on our 100th episodes, this feels like a good time to kind of talk about those things, since we've been doing this for a while now.
Yeah.
We've talked about microplastics. We've talked about food waste and food insecure households.
Yeah.
We've touched on homelessness. Rather than diverting stupid, ungodly amounts of money to fund fucking pointless wars that I am of the opinion we should have no business in,
at all,
we could look at meaningful alternatives and furthering investment in replacements for plastics
and humans, just further investments in our existence.
Like, looking at it,
how about
from an ecological perspective, looking at ways meaningfully that we could reinvest in our own infrastructure, address the issue of microplastics, tackling the actual issue of food insecure households, and getting rid of some of the arbitrary bullshit that goes along with a lot of the problems that originate from arbitrary throwout times on food from places that have excess food that goes in the fucking garbage. And then on the other side of that, you got people who try to set up shop, feed the homeless, feed the needy. We spend so much money on stupid shit, and we
we have.
pretend.
I hate to interrupt, but then we have like gun-toting fucking happy politicians and cops that come out there where those people are feeding the homeless and needy.
Yeah, and
Start
them.
fucking pouring bleach
Fuck
on
them. Yeah, fuck them with a rusty crowbar.
But it's not profitable.
No, it's not profitable. And I get
that
there's
into that. It's not profitable, man.
And I understand that nothing is for free, right? Someone has to be able to benefit in some way. Make it work for everyone. And at the very least, if you've got $300 billion of taxpayer money that you can piss down the fucking toilet to fund a fucking war in Eastern Europe, I think you can afford to assist in taking care of our own infrastructure here at home.
Yeah,
that's the biggest problem with fucking government that I've got right now.
Our roads are a joke. Level. You guys ever want to take a good ride? Come down here with me, or Tristan. You come up here to me, and I'm gonna take you around and show you all the bridges that, after I've looked at them, I don't want to drive back across them because I go fish underneath them, and it's like, holy fuck, why are big trucks driving over this?
Like seriously, some of the bridges we went under when we were doing the canoe trip.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but that's the real thing that is not going to be solved by the fucking Cabbage and Chiefs infrastructure plan.
They don't give a shit.
None of the legit infrastructure problems are going to be solved. Okay, because the state is going to get that money. Because it's not going to be like a federal sweeping fucking fix your bridges, fix your roads thing. That money will be divvied up among the states by the level of importance, and then that money is going to be further wasted at state level on whatever bullshit plans they have for it. And none of the bridges and highways and the rail system will never get fucking fixed, man.
Of course not.
That's what people
same shit, different day,
and they automatically think, oh my God, we're actually going to get our infrastructure fixed. We're going to get our bridges fixed. We're going to get our roads fixed.
Nope. Here's $10 million that we just spent on here's $10 million we just spent on surplus MRAPs. Enjoy.
MRAPs are garbage in an urban environment. Like, people are so scared of like,
and we're still providing that shit to the police.
All it is a scary factor.
Because Trump said we needed to live in law and order, and that's why he gave cops more whatever. Ain't that what I've been told? Something like that.
It's a pipe dream, but the theoretical is that if someone asked what you could better use that money on, that's what you could use that money on. And they never will, because the fucking mouth breathers don't want anything to do with anything that involves meaningfully taking care of the fucking society they've sworn to uphold.
That's a fact right there.
That's why you got to take care of yourself.
That's right.
You have to protect yourself, take care of yourself, learn to provide for yourself.
Expect the self-rescue. No one is coming.
Yeah. Nobody's coming to fucking save you guys. Nobody.
You got. That's something I'm always trying to say is we got to say. Not only do you have to save yourself, but you got to be the one that cares for others. You have to show that human element, that true human element that I truly believe is within everyone. Like I hear people all the time talk negatively, even about people that kind of deserve it. Don't get me wrong. Like people who ride in a car by themselves with a mask on, I'll talk shit about it too. But at the end of the day, like, there's people need help. You don't know what people are going through. If you know your
neighbor is going without,
if you know your neighbor's going without, and you're not helping the best you can,
be a good Samaritan. Take it upon yourself. Some people will take that as like an insult. If you come up and ask, "Hey, man, are you doing all right, man? Do you need some help?" Somebody will take that as an insult.
Walk over a dinner plate.
Yeah, man. if you see your neighbor struggling with something, that could be anything, man. Be a good Samaritan.
I deliver
some help.
appliances. I deliver appliances all day. And like the other day, a good example of things just like that, I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but this is just how I roll. Like there's a guy on the side of the road changing his flat tire on a van. Like we threw the truck over on the side of the road and got out and helped this guy change his flat tire off the side of the road because why not? Like, I mean, sure, I understand people and their horror stories, blah, 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 but this dude was legitimately on the side of the road trying to change his flat tire and struggling because he had a bolt that was stuck. And thankfully I had a crowbar and something that had some juice behind it instead of his hand turning it. So we were able to help the fella. And I mean, yeah, it don't sound like much, but shit, that probably made that dude's day way ass better. And he didn't have to go make all these extra trips to cut a fucking lug nut off of a van. Like, I mean, I've been in those situations. I know what it's like. And I've wished that somebody pulled over and helped me change that flat tire, but I don't ever really get it. So I figure if I keep doing it for others, eventually I'll get it back, something like that. And I'm not looking for it back, you know what I'm saying? But like, I figure eventually it'll come back on its own because I'm helping folks out the best that I can.
General rule of society is don't be a dick.
Don't be a dick.
Yeah. And return your shopping cart.
Yes,
Every time. There's not an excuse.
Every
Every fucking time.
I'm convinced that is one of the biggest sociological experiments ever created.
Oh, it's a genius litmus test because it shows who is and who is not capable.
Now let me ask you guys. Let me ask you guys. What are your feelings on all the way back inside the store or just to the corral?
The corral.
I put it in the corral. I mean,
if there's no corral, then you take it.
To
the store.
Well, see, like,
but I'm not running it up a fucking curb, or I'm not just letting it go down a fucking.
No, well, see, over here in small town Georgia, USA, I actually walk it all the way back inside.
You walk it in back inside, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude,
the only I'll put it in the corral if it's raining.
With my truck, if there are shopping carts that people have like pushed to the side and like they've gathered in a group blocking a parking spot that I'm trying to get into, I will ram those fuckers so hard and send them all over the parking lot.
I mean,
I can't be mad at it.
You really can't, though.
Walmart's the worst.
Yeah, Walmart's are pretty rough.
But Kroger's getting just as bad.
Yeah, Kroger's down here are bad. Thankfully, Harris Teeter and Publix.
Aldi's isn't because you still get a quarter back. When you take your Aldi shopping cart back, you still get a quarter.
You know, I love anytime I get an opportunity because there's only one down here and it's quite a ways away. It's actually pretty cumbersome to drive. An Aldi. I love Aldi. I love Lidl. And any day of the week, if I'm going to a grocery store, I would prefer to give them my business.
Aldi? Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yep.
We have one right down the street from me. Right down the street. We still have what is known as a 5 and dime.
That is a name I haven't heard in a long time. There is a Roses down here.
Yeah, we still got a Roses over here.
Piggly Wigglies, don't you?
I got a Piggly Wiggly.
Yeah. I got a Piggly Wiggly down here as well. I also have IGA, and they've kind of disappeared too.
I haven't seen an IGA since I grew up in my hometown, Northern Illinois, man. I haven't seen an IGA in a while.
Yeah, we got a couple IGAs down here.
Yeah. Times are changing, man.
Yeah, absolutely, always. But yet they do tend to kind of some things I kind of understand the thing of where they stay the same. You know what I'm saying? Like there's some things that just kind of cruise along, and that's, I guess maybe it's tradition or maybe it's something else. And I think there's important things to that. There's important aspects, and I really believe more people need to be showing some of these more important aspects, like Bandit and even myself and stuff, when it comes to like dealing with animals, like is a great example. Like try and, Bandit, you got all your stuff going on with your kind of mini urban farm and whatnot. And like, it's not only are you showing it's plausible, but you're learning great things and able
Even
to teach your
you
kids
can do
great
it in
things, just
town.
like I was doing.
You can do it in town. You don't need to live out in the country to raise animals and sort of be self-sufficient with certain things. I don't have like 100 acres. I got my front yard and my backyard, but it's like using what you have to its fullest.
Yes.
Using everything you got. And that's what I'm trying to do until I eventually move out to my slice of land in the woods and am able to attain those, large number of free range animals. I will work with what I got.
Hell yeah. That's what's up, though. I mean, I think that's amazing because it's totally going to be the Jetsons and the Flintstones. Like, and me and you are going to be down here doing Flintstone stuff with our.
Maybe, and I'm okay. I don't.
And I'm okay with that.
I was
or Mad Max, or however you want to put it. And some people are gonna
can't grow anything in the wasteland.
Some people are gonna some people are gonna some people are gonna continue to stay plugged into their matrix and enjoying their fear porn.
I would have I would have been on the grind for this beautiful house, sports car, big truck, all of the frivolous benefits, all of
now you want a house made out of logs down by the river. Man.
I just want some land. I want a small cabin. I want some animals. I want to walk out in the front yard and not hear or see any ambient noise from a city. It's
fair.
Right? Yeah, dude. Like there will be none of that plugged in shit for me.
That's right. Once we vanish, we'll be gone forever. But don't worry, guys. We're not going anywhere anytime soon.
No, man. We ain't going nowhere.
This crew's here to stay.
Yeah.
So I guess I figure, I'm getting ready to bring around and wrap it up. You got anything you guys want to touch on before we wrap up for the night, Bandit?
No, basically, we're just talking shop tonight, And
you guys got an in on it.
Yeah, we decided to record talking shop and, throwing around ideas and stuff. You guys got, this is what, this is how our chats go most of the day throughout the week, trying to figure out where we're going as far as like a direction of the group, direction of the page, direction of the podcast, where, this is just a live recording of, thoughts bouncing around in our heads.
Right.
It's exactly what this is.
Yes, indeed.
A little bit of everything.
A little bit of everything. Neptune, you got anything you want to bounce around before we sign off for tonight?
Yeah, man, I'm good.
All right. Well, I appreciate all you guys out there. Make sure you get to unconstitutionalawakening.com so that you can find more of Unconstitutional Awakening, the podcast, and us. Make sure you check us out on Facebook at Captain Conspiracy and the Freedom Pirates. And then, look for Jim Bob.
One more thing, Dad.
Look for Jim Bob Oval Shorts anywhere anywhere you can find them, and that's usually where you'll have somebody else, one of these guys, tied to us and stuff. We've even got links for Luis and Luna that you can get back and check out their projects as well, because they are fantastic co-hosts over here with us. And what was that, Bandit, you wanted to throw out there?
I want to make sure that I mentioned we are one episode shy of 100 episodes. Our 100
continuous
will be this coming up Saturday. We are going to get together with the original 4.
That's right.
Of this group.
That's
and
right.
We are just going to talk past episodes.
We are.
The best moments from past episodes. We're going to reminisce.
And pull up great stuff and probably just have a good time.
And it's 100 episodes. And that's 100 episodes more than most people.
That's right. I've been just out here trying to pump out the content, and I appreciate you and you and Neptune and Luis and Luna and Ox and every one of the guests that come and go. I appreciate you guys being on here with us. Like it's been a blast, and I think we've learned a lot. Yeah. It's very therapeutic, and we're not screaming about the same garbage every single night. We've got something new and funny and interesting for you every night. I think that's a great thing to have. I'd be mixing it up instead of being the same dry old story every day. Especially when you've got great things like this. So you guys know I got it. So what do you call a pirate that still has 2 eyes and 2 legs? A rookie.
Terrible pirate.
A rookie. Y'all have a great night. Thank you.
Yeah.